You have probably seen this picture countless of times on social media platforms. It became viral on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. The girl dressed in white is young Alaa Salah, a 22-year-old architecture and engineering student. She is standing alone in front of a crowd of people, inciting them to chant along with her during one of the protests that Sudan witnessed against the expelled president Omar al-Bashir in 2019. The power and energy she conveys is undeniable. In fact, her image helped raise international awareness on the protest movement in Sudan and shed a light on the importance of women in the protests. Her outlook has various meanings rooted in Sudan's cultural tradition. First of all, it immediately reminds of the Kandakas, the warrior queens of the ancient kingdom of Kush. This reconnects Sudanese women, oppressed by the restrictive Islamist regime of al-Bashir, with a mythical past where, on the contrary, society was matriarchal, and women were the ones who detained power. Second, the fact that Alaa wears a white thobe strikes a chord with Sudanese women, as it refers to the typical dress worn by those working in the public sector in the 50s and 60s. This period reminds of those years when women were more emancipated and independent. But not only, this was the same dress worn by Fatima Ibrahim and the leaders of the Sudanese Women Union, a feminist party founded in 1959. In this way, Alaa continues the heritage of a strong feminist movement in Sudan, which was central for both the anti-colonialist fight and for the empowerment of women after Sudan gained independence in 1956. In fact, the participation of women in street protests is not an unusual and contemporary phenomenon. The presence of women can be seen also in previous anti-government demonstrations. But while in the past women such as Fatima Ibrahim were leaders of a political party affiliated to the Communist Party, today the participation of women in the protests is not ideologically charged. Instead, it shows the frustration of a part of the population, particularly targeted by the regime. Under al-Bashir, women had to follow a specific dressing code and had to be accompanied by men in public spaces. Not abiding to the law resulted in harsh corporal punishments, such as flogging. In such conditions, women feel that they don't have anything to lose anymore. So, despite preventive arrests of famous female activists at the beginning and during the protests, they keep on fighting to gain their long-awaited freedom.